What's up? Welcome to Worked, episode 4. 4. Thank you. Yes. 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 What? Mhm. I don't know. Because it just seems so I guess he'd be I honestly thought he'd be the last one to jump ship, if you will. I'm surprised. I'm surprised. I believe it because I'm now seeing Brandy posting, and obviously AEW released a statement, and you have his brother saying, "Well, I'm not leaving, guys." Right? So it seems to be true. I don't think all these sources and people would be posting all of this from both sides, right? AEW and the WWE side. So I believe it's true as far as him leaving. I just don't. I don't know if I believe it. I'm just shocked. Sorry. Yes. Yes. They've heard some stuff. And Russell Votes, who also has WWE sources. Yes. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Do you see it? It's in the work. Absolutely. Hmm. Right. Yes. Yes. Right. Options. Yep. Yeah. Hmm. I was a Stardust fan. Okay, I like Stardust. I don't care what anyone says. I don't particularly like the character that was on AEW personally. Um, you know, we'll see. I guess I'm not hyped for it, if you will. If no, not in the least. The huge neck tattoo, like I can't do it. But invest in something. Oh, I don't know. But look, there are Cody fans who are excited. There are Cody fans who are not excited. Look, if the man has a family, to your point, he has things he would like to accomplish. If he can make some great money doing that, going back to WWE, more power to him. And I'm still shocked. I'm shocked. I'll be honest. There's no other word I can use right now because I'm still kind of really, really. I just, if it happened. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Bring in someone. This is true. I forget about that. Yeah. I'm curious to see where it goes. I guess is that this is probably this is a bigger shock to me than some of the other rumors. But like I'm still kind of in disbelief. Yes, has left. Hmm. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Hmm. Here's what I would like to say. And I think a lot of people, so there's a photo, a well-known photo that went around when I think it was right after Moxley debuted. And it's Cody Rhodes and it's Moxley giving the finger, if you will, right? You know what I'm talking about. And everyone, F you, Vince, F you, right? Like that's they didn't say that, but that's what everyone took that as, right? And to your point, I think people want to believe that all these wrestlers hate WWE, which is not the case, right? Most of the time, they just wanted to be used better. They wanted better storylines. They wanted to be utilized better. They wanted more consistency. Um, and that's what they wanted. They just wanted to be used, right? They wanted to show their talents. So if you can go back, right? If you can go back with the option, because it sounds like from the rumor, Cody might have options to also do some outside stuff as well if he went back to WWE. If you have the option to do some other stuff as well, because I know Mox loves wrestling on these different promotions as well, right? These wrestlers don't hate WWE. They hate that they weren't utilized and they weren't um, um, showcased as much. And I feel like if Cody makes the jump, all these other wrestlers who went over there that maybe aren't that much better off than they were, hashtag Andrade. Um, I just feel that there's a possibility, to your point, more people might go, okay, if I can work out something with them, or I'm guaranteed at least a title shot, or I'm whatever is in the deal. They might look into it. It might be an option. Jericho, I don't know. That's another one I wouldn't be completely shocked actually. Jericho is actually more believable to me than Cody. Just because Jericho has so much history there. Hall of Fame for him has to be coming. He is not. Mhm. He was on Stone Cold's show. That was the first little crossover type thing. Yeah. Hmm. Yes. Yes. Hmm. Well, that and if you're promising other things as well, no. Peacock or USA, you have Ms. and Mrs. on USA. You got Road to the Top on USA. It's just it's you have there's a lot I'm sure they're considering. Um AEW does have a problem. And it's the same problem that WWE had. Now that they have a more narrowed roster, they can now focus on characters and building those people. Um AEW keeps like has that pop, right? That surprise, that hey, look who we got. Look who we got. Now what? Right? It's like this roller coaster effect. They now have to take the talent that they have because they have amazing talent and now just focus on that and stories and building and long-term stories and building, right? Um, so some of them they've done like Heyman Page, for instance, took them what 3 years, 2.5 years, um, to become champ. So they're getting there, but now they really have to focus on that and stop worrying about bringing in new people for the pop, right? So if they can do that, I think people will stay. But if people start getting less TV time or ending up on dark a little too consistently, it's going to start being a problem, and you're going to see more people leave. Mhm. Yes. Yeah. Yes. The most popular wrestler I think of all time. Truly. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. The rumor's out. Got a promo on Texas last night as well. And we're like, what? Why does he hate Texas so much? Good. I'm calling BS. Look, keep the same energy. I'm sorry. Edge returns, pop. Christian returns, pop. Sting returns, pop. Lita returns, pop. The Rock may be wrestling at WrestleMania 39, pop. Stone Cold Steve Austin may return for a match. What? Why would they do that? His knees. Who gives a shit? Are you kidding me? It's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Get over yourselves. Who like? Are you kidding? If he wants to do it, Just like any of these legends, Sting wanted to come back. He's in AEW and he looks fantastic. He looks fantastic. If these people want to do it and they get cleared and they want to come back for a match, if Stone Cold wants to come back and put Kevin Owens over or whoever he was to face, then let him do that. Stone Cold's been putting people over in the ring with promos over the last, I don't know, 10 years or so. But he actually wants to get into the ring with somebody. If he does, it's a rumor. If he wants to get into the ring with somebody and put them over that way, let the man do it. You think Stone Cold doesn't do anything half-assed, all right? If he's going back to the ring, this man's going to be training. He's going to look as good as he possibly can. And obviously he's going to be cleared by doctors. So I don't understand. Oh, leave nostalgia, leave it in the past. Like, but where was all of this with Undertaker? And where was all this with, I just keep the same energy, please. Because I see some people talking about why Stone Cold need to be back are the same people who are praising Sting being back. Like, we're not, like, there's receipts, guys. There's receipts. Keep the same energy. There's absolutely no reason why Stone Cold cannot come back. Correct. Correct. Get over yourselves. Don't come back. What do you need to come back for? Who are you? Who are you? In Texas, his home. His t-shirt is still the most sold t-shirt till this day in wrestling. The most consistently selling pro wrestling merch today is Stone Cold Steve Austin t-shirts. And he's returning, he could possibly be returning in Texas, his home state. Do you know how many Texans will just go just to see him? They might not even watch wrestling for the last 20 years, but if they hear Stone Cold Steve Austin has a match at WrestleMania in Dallas, Texas, I can assure you they are going to show up for him. They treat Kevin Owens so well. Oh, he's definitely leaving. He'd never resign. And it's going to be entertaining. I'm sorry, whether it might not be, it's not going to be a classic, right? It's not going to be Daniel Bryan versus Hangman Page. That's not what this is, right? This is name versus name, nostalgia versus new, funny Johnny Knoxville versus wacky Sami Zayn. It's been some of the most entertaining stuff going on week to week. And I was like, and now they get to actually have a match, and Johnny Knoxville may actually win a championship off of it. He may not. We don't know. But the point is that they're doing things that are different. People ask for something different, and they're doing that. And then you want to complain. I'm not. Why would he? He's probably stoked. He's probably, the man uses the stunner. Okay, sure. Stun, Owen, stun. Something. It's going to say something. Yeah, absolutely. Amazing man. Amazing man. Yep. It should. Man, man, no, no. I was only talking about Naomi. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, they Charlotte and Naomi put on an absolute banger of a match, man. Like I have actually watched it probably 3 times, 4 times, possibly four. Uh what so the offense Naomi got in, right? Like they I knew she was losing the match just because of how much offense she got in. She shined, right? She shined. But to me, it just proved. So someone said that they sell you, they're teaming Naomi with Ronda to get Ronda's popularity back up, and it might work a little bit. But for me, it just proved that Naomi actually belongs in Ronda's spot, right? Like I'm like, she just proved she should be up there with the champion at the championship level. Mhm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Are you talking about just SmackDown? Because I would say Bianca probably is equal. But yes, I got you. Yep. Very, very. You do. Not even close. Look, it to me it was the crowd. That was the most notable thing for me. So every time Naomi comes out and performs and they let her, the crowd is just loud. This isn't the first time. This has happened a lot with her. It did. And them on their feet. And like when's the last time you've seen women or not women, sorry, people just on their feet almost throughout almost the whole match? I'd say probably midpoint on through the first couple near falls, people just start standing up and they're just like, oh my God, or on the edge of their seat, right? It was, you're right. It was like a pay-per-view level match. And for me, I'm like, Naomi is in that. To me, she's just at a championship level, but the crowd is behind her. And what it reminded me of was Kofi Mania. And when you saw that crowd just loud and getting behind him, I'm like, you caught lightning in the bottle with Kofi Mania. And I was like, I really do feel you could catch lightning in the bottle with Naomi. And it is Mania season. And I don't know what they're going to do with her from here. I mean, obviously, they have that match at Elimination Chamber, but I don't know what they're going to do with her from here. But to me, I'm almost at the point where I'm like, add her to the Charlotte and Ronda match, add her in there. And if the crowd stays behind her, the way as loud as they were on Friday, have her go over. I understand they're trying to put the title on Ronda. I get it. But if you catch lightning in a bottle with this, you can give Naomi Glowmania, hashtag Glowmania. I don't know if you saw, there was like hashtag Glowmania was actually trending for a while. It was. It was. You have to. It can't be a battle royale. Don't throw in a battle. I'm okay with that. Oh my god, they would tear it up. They would tear it up. Speaking of, what are we doing with Sasha? What are we doing? Oh my god. Yes. They really have. Very. Hmm. EO. Look, Raw specifically has done a great job with booking their women's division between other matches outside the title feud, the tag titles, even, and the actual championship title feuds. Each one of them have gotten pretty much TV time. I think every week almost. I think Carmella and Zelina were on there last night for the toga party, but for the most part, they've all gotten some kind of TV exposure. They're not just sitting in the back every week. SmackDown, you can't say the same. SmackDown's kind of fallen off. I'm not sure what's happening there, but they've had some good stuff as well, good moments. I'm fine. Yes. Mhm. Yes. Yes. I just like how did you notice how Rollins was just not like so in the ring, like everyone else was like, and Rollins was like, yes, yep, yep, yes. Yes. Hmm. Hmm. I love when they do the backstage kind of updates, like the Broga party basically was. Like you just kind of, I love when they do that. And it's not just all focused on the in ring, but there's some backstage segments building throughout the night to end in the ring at the end, right? Yeah. I have to say, and I plan on saying this today on the show, and I was not a fan of Chad Gable and Otis being teamed together. I was not a fan of Otis being a heel. Right? I was like, what is this? Like, we know the man speaks, right? Like, anyway, I have liked the way they have booked them the last month or so. Gable, obviously, we've talked about already, amazing, but they're finally letting Otis be a heel, but show some personality, right? Show some kind of like he's not just this, which I was like, this is so stupid. But they're finally letting him show some personality, which I really do appreciate. So again, and they went from kind of being these another put together tag team to this tag team that's really charismatic, if you will, and now they're in main events. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Uh, Best work of his career. I'm sorry. Yep. Yep. No. Or Brock Lesnar. Correct. Very. I believe so. Yep. 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 Visionary Joker, not heel, not face. Like I don't describe him as heel or face. To me, he's just it. Right. Yep. Yes. Well, I pointed out last night during Raw, I'm like, Seth is the only one who has pinned Brock twice that was in that ring. So I'm like, if anyone who doesn't need to be scared of Brock, it's probably Seth Rollins. He's pinned him twice. Just saying. Do you want him to have a title? This is a big thing because a lot of his fans, including myself, want him to be champion again. But I almost feel like he's really good working without a title as well. And so I'm like, I think a lot of people want him to beat. A lot of people want him to beat Roman. A lot of people want him to be the one to beat Roman. Does that make sense? And they did leave that story unfinished, right? So I'm like, it is very possible he may be the one, but does he need to be the one? Like Seth Rollins is established, right? Is he your top guy? Because to your point, he checks all the boxes and more. Is he your top guy? Is it on Raw though? On is Seth your Bobby Lashley is the champion, and he's a big man. You know how Vince loves his big men. Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I don't think he needs it right now. He just doesn't. He's doing impeccable work. Yes. I think I tweeted Seth Rollins is one of the best in the world, and like 3,000 people agree with me, and I had about like 200 retweets going, he's mid. I'm like, and I think I tweeted out again. I'm like, if you, I'm like, you can hate Seth Rollins all you want, but to call him mid is absolutely delusional. Like you are insane if you think that man is mid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say it here. You're delusional if you think that man is mid. Yes. He's having so much fun. You can tell when someone's having fun with their character and with what they're doing. He is having so much, you can tell he's just having fun. He's not taking it too serious. There's not all this pressure to be like super baby face. There's not like he is just having fun. He seems to be in his element, and you can just tell that. It's just oozing out of him. And it's like you had the audience singing his song last night. I don't know if you heard it. Like what do you call him, face or heel or whatever, he's liked, right? He's liked. And shout out to Seth Rollins. He just got to 4 million followers on Twitter this week. I didn't see it. I saw clips and I heard and read clips, excuse me. No, I don't think anyone is that stupid. I mean, even with Seth Rollins, I guess maybe because he's a smaller guy. So they were like, oh, I can take him. The man immediately put the man in a guillotine. You like immediately. I'm like, don't be dumb. But that's funny. Feed the animals, don't touch them, don't stick your hands through the gate. Don't do it. Yes. Yes. Yep. I love it. I loved it the moment he walked out in the cowboy hat. I was like, this is it. This is it. And the ponytail, I'm like, what is happening right now? No, like he looks like he's just having fun. There's no pressure for him to be this mean beast who just doesn't talk, right? And he doesn't have to be like, oh, everyone liked me. He's just, it, I don't know him personally, but if I was to describe Brock as a person, I feel like this would be it. Like he's just a tough badass who just doesn't need to prove himself, right? Like it's just like everyone knows. Like I think you pointed out him circling the ring. That little touch is just like I do what I want. Absolutely. Yep. Are all champions, right? Previous champions. AJ Styles a previous champion. Um Riddle and Theory are the only two that have not, but everyone else has been champion. World champions. Did, did you see the when Brock got in the ring? I'm sorry. I laughed legitimately for like 10 minutes because they did that white shot and all of a sudden you saw Riddle just jumping out of the ring and I was like, what? I, I was laughing for like 10 minutes straight because I was like, it's like something you see of like a cartoon. Like I was just like, what? But he look, I'm not the biggest Riddle fan for other reasons, but to your point, he has taken the ball and he has run with it. And the work he has done with Randy has really helped put him on the map as far as in the main event, main roster scene, right? Like, yes, no, I mean that's how they're building him. You can tell he has, I think, two Raws in a row now. He's had four segments, four separate like two Raws in a row. Yep, yep, and started because they started with the trivia. So yeah, I mean they're behind him. There's no question that they're behind him. They're behind Theory. They both put on great matches, right? They both deliver in the ring as well. So it's not. Yes, you can go. Absolutely. To Vince, absolutely. If you can make him money, it matters. Yes. Mhm. First of all, I'm never against a felony Orton. Okay, murder everybody, honey. Murder everybody. Just kidding. Um, you know, it's what people expect, and so I don't know. I would like to see Riddle's range here and have Riddle get pissed because Randy is not backing him up, right? Maybe it's not full heel, but just pissed Riddle, right? Like I would like to see something different, but if we get murdering Orton back, I'm all for it. Yeah, 0. It'll be an amazing match. It's going to be an amazing story. They have the chemistry now, right? They have the oh, like look at them. They have the crowd behind them, RK Bro, and then it's like broken. So it's going to be a good story, right? And either you're going to feel for Riddle, either way, right? If Riddle turns on Randy, they're going to be rooting for Riddle probably because Riddle's whole thing is going to be brokenhearted. Randy, you weren't there for me, and it's kind of like the heel turn, but the audience is behind the heel, right? So don't get me wrong, Randy's always gonna be popular. Everyone loves him, doesn't matter. But you'll be rooting for Riddle in the story because you're like, God, Randy really broke his heart, man. Broke his heart. Mm. Yes, I could see that. Wasn't there a rumor that Kurt Angle might be coming back too? Remember that? So that is that I could see them bring if they're gonna bring Kurt back though, I kind of want to see him with Gable personally. But like Kurt Angle, right? Like I get a lot of Kurt Angle vibe from him the last month or so. But to your point, I could see someone coming in and being like, "Look, Riddle, like you need to get it together, man. Like this man's gonna kill you. Like, you need to get it together." So I could see that too. Yes, yes. Period. That was for Rhea. That was for Rhea, and she needed it. She needed it. She's so young. So people were pissed because they felt they pulled the plug on her. And I don't know if you remember, but fall 2019 was like Rhea Ripley show, man. Like between Survivor Series and the Women's War Games, like, and it was just right. It was Rhea Ripley season, and everyone's like, "She's on fire!" Da, 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 da. And it went, whoop, and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And don't get me wrong, like I thought the plug was a little too much, but she needed it, and I say that because she is so young, you guys. She has a lot of years to go. And you don't necessarily want someone hitting their highest peak, you know, and then just going, right? So you want to slow build somebody and they kind of strapped a rocket to her there and they were like, okay, wait, like we don't want to tell this story yet. So we need to chill, right? Like they needed to slow it down a little bit. The stuff she did with Nikki was cute, right? They had a good little tag team run. It had dimensions, added a another accolade for her. She's a tag champ. So they just had to give her something else. But people were like, she needs to be, I want the old Rhea Ripley back. And that's what everyone kept asking. Like, we want to see the old Rhea. And that's what last night solidified. They were like, Rhea is back in the game. She's back being Rhea Ripley, right? Like that gauntlet match was specifically for her to rebuild her. That's all that was about. And people are like, well, she lost to Bianca. She lost to Bianca because Bianca is the next it girl. Now, I don't. That's why she lost. That no one's beating Bianca Belair. No, when you're losing to someone who's considered a top talent, you guys, Bianca Belair is in the Super Bowl commercial for WWE alongside Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Ronda Rousey. You need to understand something. Bianca Belair is the next top woman. Okay, she's there. She's there. Correct. She is there. She is there. Okay. The only hurdle she has left is Becky Lynch, who was the face of the company. It's a huge deal to beat Becky Lynch, and she is the one. So that's what they're trying to tell you. Rhea is back, but she ain't here yet. She isn't here yet. Okay, she will get there. Her and Bianca are going to be top stars, but I don't think people understand. There's a reason why Bianca beat her because she's Bianca, and Rhea didn't need that. Rhea that match made a star. Made I'd say made a star. The same thing that happened to Naomi on Friday happened to Rhea last night. Okay, it wasn't about the loss. You can lose. It's okay for people to lose. It's how they lose, right? It's the story behind it. They made Rhea look strong. You saw her show out, and she looked like a star even in loss. And that is what the important thing is. Naomi looked like a star even in loss. That's what to me. That's what I love about pro wrestling. You don't always have to get the win to look like a star. In promos, you can be put over. In matches, you can be put over, even if you're not the champion at the end. So for me, Rhea is back. I think I tweeted that. Rhea is back. And they're trying to let you know Rhea is back. We can't. Not everyone can be the champion. And the champions are the champions for a reason. Whether you like it or not, they are the champions for a reason. However, how they book them is a whole separate story, and it's not the talent's fault, right? However, there is a story there. There's a reason why Rhea did not beat Bianca, and it makes sense. For most people, it makes sense. For people who just want Rhea Ripley on top, they were like, "Well, why?" Because they're telling you Bianca's their girl. That's what they're telling you. Okay, that for right now, Bianca's their girl, but Rhea is right here, and you should be okay with that. She is now back here. Okay, so enjoy the ride, people. Enjoy the ride. That's why I say enjoy the ride, because that's what it is. It's a story. It's a ride. And you don't understand. To me, you don't understand pro wrestling. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. No, like people are like, oh, Bianca doesn't need another title shot. She's at 3. I'm like, Are you not following the story? There's a story. There's a reason why they dropped Bianca and Becky for a couple months. Because the last thing you want is to do the WWE thing, which is drag something out, drag a feud out, and just have them keep facing each other for 6 months. You don't want that. They pull them away from each other. Becky specifically said in a promo, "Get to the back of the line, bitch." And Bianca said, "Okay." She has now beat every single person on that roster to make her way back to Becky Lynch. And that is a story that like people have to follow that. That's what this is about. Bianca's going to be on top for a while. So if you're not okay with that, I don't know what to tell you. Correct. She's going to be the next. She is the girl. She's the woman. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. 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 To do it. Yep. They do not. They can main event and just wrestling is wrestling. Men or women, wrestling is wrestling. Women can main event a wrestling show with men on it. There's no reason. I get people loved Evolution too, or Evolution, excuse me, and I would like to see Evolution too, just for fun. But it's not needed anymore. Yeah, as long as WWE can consistently books the women in storylines, pay-per-view event. I'm sorry, what do they call it? Premium viewing? What's it called? Whatever. Thank you. As long as they continue to book them consistently and equally, there's no need for it. Want for it? Absolutely. Need for it? No. Women are main eventing all wrestling shows now at this point, and that should continue to become a norm. Yes. Yes. Yep. Yep. Elimination Chamber. Absolutely. To be the primary billboard in Saudi Arabia for Elimination Chamber, be two women, and those two women be Becky Lynch and Lita. That's 3, 4, 5 years ago. That would never happened. That's what the four horsewomen have done. So to your point, they have their ceiling was high. They broke through that. They are now making it easier and more of a norm for all these other women coming up. That this should it shouldn't be a shock anymore, right? It shouldn't be that many first evers. It should now be for the 20th time, for the 10th time. Like that and changing the thought, like changing mindsets, right? They had to change people's minds, and that is probably one of the hardest things to do. Yes. 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 Not at all. And there's levels to it. There's levels to doing it. And you're not always going to get it right. But when you do finally get it right, stick to it. The next, yeah, yes, yep. I tweeted about, I think it was a year ago, probably a year ago or so, but I tweeted the picture of four of them. And I said, I do not believe what the four horsewomen have done for pro wrestling will be um, appreciated until long after they retire. And I say that because we're in it right now. I don't think some people get it, some people see it. I'm one of them. But I think some people just don't appreciate all the work they have done individually to make women's wrestling, or I hate even saying that, the women of pro wrestling. I don't know. I can't even express it. It's yes, yes, yep. Dimension. Look, look. No, I hate the word stan. I hate it so much. Becky's hype woman, one of Becky's biggest fans. Absolutely, absolutely. I just people don't understand. People are ah, it's not even that. Not just WWE. It's the people that you see who don't get what Becky does. Her little haters, right? Now, given half of them are children, no one gives a shit what they're thinking, right? They're just gonna hate on her. No one really cares. But as a pro wrestling fan, sports entertainment fan, whatever you want to call it, her range in her ability to put someone over in her promos, in her segments, or whatever you want to call it. People, some people just don't get it. And I'm like, again, you're not going to probably, some people will not appreciate it until she is long retired, until she is gone. However, it's just the way they have, it's been a very short build, but the way they have put Lita over, Becky, I think Ring the Bells actually said it, Becky and Creative, the way they have put Lita over in this short amount of time has been nothing but spectacular. They you know, the way I think people say she deserved it because, you know, on Lita's first run, they kind of disrespected her in her retirement, if you will. So she is owed this to me. She is owed this. However, I can tell you right now, Becky would have it no other way, right? She wanted Lita to be the centerpiece here. There was a story going on, right? This is her idol. Think about this. Your idol in wrestling, if you were able to get in the ring with them one day and say you could have a match with them, it's the biggest deal. This might be almost as big as main eventing WrestleMania for Becky. Okay. So it's just right. Like emotionally, it might be up there. So for me, I'm just like, she was going to make sure this story was told. And what you saw last night was I just like people were expecting to come out and, you know, oh, it's a contract signing. They're gonna beat each other up. Becky comes out looking like this baby kept her up all night. depressed, probably eating chocolate all day, Valentine's Day. I it was great. It was great. Like I just she you can tell on Saturday they are going to they're going to leave it all in the ring. Her saying, you're going to make me go to a place I don't want to go, right? I'm hoping that doesn't mean there's going to be a DQ finish because she starts destroying Lita with chairs. However, someone a shout out to Andrew on Twitter. However, he had mentioned he thinks after the match she might destroy Lita after that, like after it's over. And not only that, but it's made Lita like this credible threat because everyone's like, oh, she's coming back. Oh, that's fun. She's not going to win. And everyone's going, she could win. She could win. Like Becky's looking a little disheveled. Like, usually Becky's very cocky and confident, and I got this. Like, I don't know, even if she does show some fear, she's like, I still got it, right? Not right now. Like, she's kind of like, it's almost like she's having an internal battle with herself, right? Like, I don't want to beat my idol, but I don't want to lose the most important thing to me, which she already said is her championship, right? So it's sorry, Seth. Sorry, BB. But it's just incredible. Loved it. Some people were like, why didn't they get physical? I'm like, they didn't need it. They didn't need it at all. It was effective. They did. They did. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 Into WrestleMania. A legend. A Hall of Famer. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I love you. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm so hyped about it. You know what I would like to see? I would like to see exactly what you said, but in the end, almost like Becky holding the championship up with like tears in her eyes, right? Like just like kind of heartbroken in a bit. Like I had to just do that. Like to your point, another layer in this character story. Yes, yes, it's totally Leah's fault. Exactly. Whole nother level. We we rock. We rock. No, I think we touched on the most important things. At least uh, th- there's a lot of great stuff happening in WWE now. I feel like they have really put in a lot of energy to make sure that it stays at a consistent level. I know I've enjoyed watching, especially Raw and 2.0. I think SmackDown can get some stuff together a bit, but overall, I think they're really. I can see they're trying. as much as I hate seeing people get released, I almost feel with this smaller roster, they're able to now focus on who is there in their stories. What are we trying to do? Who's the next come up? And I don't know. It seems to be working. There's a lot going on. And real quick, actually, Super Bowl. Super Bowl. The Super Bowl opened with a wrestling promo. Guys, finally. I was just look. The one about, oh, he might see it soon. Yeah, he's like the Ant Million pause will be coming soon. Wink, and I'm like right. Oh, I was in the. I didn't. So I wasn't. So the TV's in the living room, and our kitchen has an open window. So I was watching it, and then so my parents came over, and there was like my parents and obviously my family, and they're all sitting on the couch, and he's going off, and I was like, oh, and I'm literally doing the promo, doing the promo with him, and when he said in the millions, and I was like, in the kitchen, and like everyone, like because he didn't do it, or he didn't do the pause, and he kept going, and so everyone in the living room just looking at me like, what? And I was like, I'm like, are you don't understand. I was like, I'm gonna do this anyway. I don't even care if he paused. I did it anyway. Millions. Finally. Yes, or give me a hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right? Like it's just yeah. Loved it. I loved it. Look, here's the thing. It was literally for people our age, right? Like that was a halftime show for people our age. So I the fact that people didn't understand, and I'm like, clearly you've never seen the video, right? Because people were like, why is he upside down? And I'm like, have you not seen this video? Like that's literally how he's in upside down in the video. But here's the thing, like here's what I loved about it, and I loved pretty much everything. But you had for the first time ever people crip walking, and the dancers came out crip walking. It's Snoop, and I'm like, never in my lifetime did I ever think you'd see this on the halftime show. And here's the thing, I think they were in they were even like in the Dickies and like the Converse, and I'm just like, I like that they didn't um tone it down, right? They could have been like, like they let them be authentically them, right, in their music, and they didn't make them tone it down. I think they did not, and I was like, that's what I appreciate, because they could have said, maybe you guys don't come out in those outfits, or maybe we don't crip out walk crip walk to the field, right? So, and they were like, it's a dance. I mean, and it is a dance, right? No, behind it, there's a whole thing we're going to, but they let them do it. They let them be them, and that's what I appreciate. And I think they were told, I guess Dre was supposed to say like, we still don't like the police or something. It was supposed to kneel, and correct. I'm like, since when would has Dr. Dre or Eminem ever been like, well, you told me I couldn't, so I guess I won't. Like, come on. And he kneeled. He Was there any doubt? Oh no. No, no. I actually told my husband, I was like, I was kind of hoping he did Slim Shady, and then I thought he was gonna go into Lose Yourself. But yeah, I was like, you know what? They did. They did. It was me too. Oh my God. Look, if Mary J is going to not do anything else, she's going to wear some boots. She's going to. Yep. Dude, do you think he'd show up tonight? I'm still, look, from back from the beginning, I'm still in disbelief, Stephen. I'm still in disbelief. I mean, I'm not doubting that he is left or leaving. I'm in disbelief it's coming, like he's coming back to WWE. And I don't know why. I don't know why. I just thought Cody'd be the last one for some reason. And I just, if he comes back during the Dusty Cup, I actually might cry. And it's not because I'm not a big Cody Rhodes fan per se, but I'm a huge Dusty Rhodes fan. And what his father did for wrestling and for the performers is unmatched. And so for me, Dusty Rhodes, man, I goosebumps. Yes. Yeah, me too. Me too. Ever. Every single one of those top women we just talked about, the four horsewomen specifically, but also others, have every single one of them have thanked Dusty Rhodes for believing in them, between him and Regal, for believing in them and pushing them. And I believe that if it wasn't for him, we would not have the four horsewomen that we have today. We wouldn't. We wouldn't have the women's evolution the way we've had it. Like he was just a key player in making sure these women were successful. And I'm forever grateful for that as a fan. I'm sure the pro wrestlers I know are grateful for that. They talk about him every chance they get. So I'll be watching tonight. I'm gonna message you right away. Oh my God, Simon. Yes. Yes. I'm looking forward to that. And Carmelo's been wanting to get back in that ring, man. He's ready. He's ready. You can find me at Stephanie Hypes with a Z on Twitter and on Instagram. If he shows up, yes. Bye.